Hi friends, it is Friday and it's May. It's actually May 1st. And today we're going to talk about bubbles. Bubbles is the theme for preschool this week. So we're going to make some bubbles because like I said before, Miss Amy only has older kids. My kids are old. So we have to make sure that we have something that has bubbles, and I have all my bubbles at school. Oh no. So let's make bubbles. The first thing we want to do is put a half cup of bubbles into this. If you don't want to do a half cup, you could do less. I think I'm going to make it half that. So if you don't see a half cup there, moms and dads, you know that I'm trying to cut this down. So I'm going to squeeze this in. There we go. So there's my bubbles. The next thing my recipe calls for is 1.5 cups of water. Again, it's not going to quite look like 1.5 cups because I'm having my recipe, making it half. And there we are. We have water and bubbles, and they're together in there. The next thing my recipe calls for is sugar. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of sugar in this recipe. Why sugar, you may ask? I think it's to thicken it. Some of the recipes I found had corn syrup. So 2 things of sugar. And that is it. We're going to mix. Now, I initially thought, maybe I should put this in my shaker cup. But then I said to myself, what happens when you shake bubbles? Shaking bubbles would probably make a mess, not bubbles. Now, the second part of my problem is I don't have any bubble wands. Oh no, I have no bubble wands. So then I started thinking about how can I get a bubble wand? One of the ideas is getting a pipe cleaner. If you have pipe cleaners at home and you bend it to any shape, they suggested making circles or triangles. I decided to skip that because I'm always trying to do things that I know families might have at home. And I don't think all families have pipe cleaners at home, even though Miss Amy does have some downstairs. If you do, try it. Send me a picture. Tell me how it works. I would love to see that. But we're going to try this with a couple other things. One of the suggestions that people said was to cut, now this would be moms and dads cutting the bottom off of a water bottle so that it's a circle. Make sure you don't have too many sharp edges. Make sure your kids are very careful of that. So I cut the plastic part off of the bottom of my my water bottle that I drank out of before. And I'm going to dip it in and I'll see if it makes a bubble. Ooh, that's nice. So I made some bubbles with my water bottle. If you don't want to do that, one of the ideas they had was a straw. So you could take a straw. Now, what's the problem with that, moms and dads? Is kids only know how to into a straw. They don't necessarily know how to blow out of a straw. So this one makes me a little nervous, suggesting it to some of my preschoolers that I know might suck it in. So you definitely want to make sure you think about your child and teach the idea of blowing. Blowing is blowing out. You also want to think sometimes when you make sounds, you blow. So I often tell kids to hum, and then when they have to blow out of their nose. So like if they're blowing their nose, which is another really good skill to practice, is I always tell them to shut their mouth and go, hmm. So when there's times your kids are healthy, you may want to teach them to hum so that they can then all the air out of their nose when they need to blow their nose. Okay, getting back to bubbles. What you do is you put it in. Now, instead of blowing into the straw here, you take it out, you go Oh, it didn't work. Let's try again. I may not have mixed my bubbles enough. Oh, little bubbles. Oh, here they come. Oh, so many little bubbles. All right. Let's see. There was one more idea that I found. And this is a funnel. You see the funnel? It's just my normal kitchen funnel. Mine has a little edge. I'm hoping that doesn't make it hard for it to work. So what I do is I put it in here, just like I would. And then I pick it up and I blow. Oh, almost. I almost had a bubble there. That one didn't work so hot. They also suggested plastic cups with the cut a little hole out of the bottom of the plastic cup and putting the plastic cup in and taking it out and blowing like that. But I like the ones that have the idea that you put your mouth around something. I think some of the kids who have difficulty blowing bubbles might actually like putting their mouth around it and blowing. This was my favorite. Of all these three, the water bottle is my favorite, but it's kind of interesting because you can say, look at the big bubbles. Oh, that was a big one. And look at the small bubbles. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Spend some time being with your kids. If you go outside, make sure you wear masks. I probably will be sending information about teaching your kids about wearing masks, and just in case what happens in the future. So make sure if you go out, you wear them. Have a great day. Bye.